This week we're continuing our look at Federal Cartridge Company in Anoka, Minnesota. For 100 years, ammunition has been made right here in this plant that I'm standing in. They've had a lot of innovation over the years. They, of course, brought out the first colored shot shells so you could tell a 20 from a 12. And there have been countless innovations in handgun ammunition, shotgun ammunition, and in rifle ammunition.
So when we talk product innovation, obviously every segment of the business has seen a ton of innovation in the last 2 decades. We always challenge, what else can we do, whether it be in pistol or shot shell or rifle? Federal thinks about that every day. How can we continually exceed our expectations? And that's what we live for.
So my dad was a wildlife biologist. So I grew up in a conservation-oriented family. And one of the things that I've always loved about Federal was this background that they've had in conservation and supporting conservation all these years. And that's what really kept me engaged and wanting to just continue to help build this company. Black Cloud was far and away the most fun project I did as a product development engineer. And really how it came about was we had just done what we called the shot shell revolution. We had done new wads. The flight control wad was introduced for buckshot and for turkey, and we had done the true ball slug, and then we went on to some exotic shots with the tungsten shots, but we didn't have anything. We kept hearing from people that they loved this stuff, but for waterfowlers, that what we were bringing out was quite expensive. It was a very high-end product. And I remember being at a show and talking to consumer after consumer that really wanted something that they could shoot on a regular basis that was more affordable. And I was talking to Rick Stokel and I said, we got to do something with steel this year. So we went back and looked at what we could do. We had been working with this flight control wad, and we had been working on some projects with differently shaped shot. So we decided to take that and see what we could do with controlling patterns. It sounds simple now when we look back on it, but that's what Black Cloud was all about.
What makes us tick, why we succeed and why we will in the future. I think the legacy of the past being hunters and shooters working here, and the legacy of the future still is the same. We're getting all kinds of these young people in here that have a passion for shooting, passion for hunting, and they live it and breathe it.
One of the strengths is a lot of family and experience passes down to generation after generation. And so you'll see, even guys that I had worked with and learned from, their kids are now working in the plant and I'm interacting with. So there's that cultural knowledge and that strength. And it's neat to see that, if you've got more than one family member or you're passing it down, it means that you have a great place to work and a good future for employees, which helps retain and develop and keep Federal here for hopefully another 100 years.
Here at Federal in Anoka, Minnesota, they have their own priming facility. And that facility, of course, takes the chemical, mixes it together, but it flows from there into their other product lines, including shot shell, loading those 209s that everybody wants, as well as center fire, and of course, rim fire. This is one of the largest rim fire plants in the world.
Federal Primers is certainly one of our core strengths. It has been, and that's not me saying that, that's the industry saying that. When you want in center fire rifle or pistol primers, Federal's generally thought of as the highest. What makes our primers unique is we make them with a different mix than any other primer manufacturer in the world. And that little secret sauce will continue to be a secret sauce, but it's safe to say no one makes a better primer.
Primers has always been an important part of Federal. It's been around since, for very beginning, and we're still manufacturing primers today. The same lead stiffening we've been doing for 60 to 70 years, and we just introduced a non-lead primer that's equivalent. And in all that, it's consistency, it's understanding, it's really being able to smartly add primer mix. Not only that it's safe, but it's consistent, because we got to take ammunition, not only build it for this one time, but for 10 to 20 to 30 years in the future.
For much of the company's existence, Federal was not involved in handgun ammunition, except, of course, at the Lake City Army Ammunition Plant. But when it came out with the HydroShock, one of the most important self-defense and law enforcement bullets really in our history, they were onto something. And Federal has continued through rigorous testing, experimentation, and engineering to improve what was really a good product into really one of the top-notch defensive loads used by the FBI, armed citizens, and a lot of police officers.
HydroShock was really one of the first Gucci brands, if you will, highly tailored, hollow point for the law enforcement community and ultimately personal defense as well. So HST was a better technical solution for meeting the expectations of law enforcement.
When we set up our HST bullets or any of our terminal performance bullets, we will grab samples off that, load them, get them shot in for P&V and accuracy, but then we'll do terminal performance. Bare gelatin, and then we'll also do heavy cooling, and if it calls out, especially in our law enforcement rounds, we'll shoot it also through glass in the gelatin. So really, quality's job is the final stance. We do all the final product testing, we're doing the dimensionals, we do other stuff as a final check to make sure this ammo is ready to go out the door. And I think, that's what's gonna drive Federal in the next 100 years, is that good quality ammunition along with the innovation and everything else that we bring to the board.
Part of our, again, innovation is we wanted to make the best hunting bullet that we think is out there. So we take great pride in bonding. Federal strength is bonding bullets, whether it be HST bullets, whether it be law enforcement bullets, whether it be trophy bondeds. So what we did when we came up with Terminal Ascent a couple years ago is we took all of the best components, all of the best features of a bullet, combined them in a Terminal Ascent round. So when a person shoots Terminal Ascent, again, I may be a little biased, but I think it's probably the best bullet Federal's ever made, and I would venture to say that it's the best bullet in the market today.
One of the great strengths of Federal is how we've always collaborated really well with other companies within our industry and outside. But specifically, if you think about the premium line of ammunition, back in 1977, we were the first company to say, look, there are bullets out there that may be better than what we're making here in the factory. So why don't we take those best bullets and make the best factory load we possibly can? And that's where premium started. We offered the Nozzler Partition, the Sierra Game King, and it's really grown into a multitude of different offerings that provide people with the choice that they want. Our custom shop is a great example and a nice extension of the premium line, where people can actually go on there and select which bullet they'd like to have in their cartridge. And I think that was something that back then they probably didn't think was going to change the way the industry went about things, but I think that was a huge shift for the industry and really one that gave us a lot of strength and authenticity and gave people the best factory ammunition that they could get.
We need to make sure our customer understands why they're buying our product, what the features are, what the benefits are, what sets our products aside from the competition. And I think, working alongside of our marketing team, I think this company is very good at doing that. And I think more than anybody else, our company really stands behind what we say the product's supposed to do. It's actually backed with technology. It's not just smoke and mirrors, if you will. These products actually do what we say they do.